Hey, everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Pensado's Place. We've got the co-founder and CEO of Sound Radix discussing Auto Line 2. He and Dave are going to do a deep dive on that. It's very cool. His name is Nir Avebuch. You're going to enjoy that. Also, we like to give you stuff. Go check out the Embody Flash giveaway. You can go to pensadosplace.tv/giveaway. It's an immersive spatial audio production suite. It's very cool. The giveaway is only live for a short time, so get these entries in. They've mirrored a lot of very cool studios in the spatial audio thing. I know Blackbird is being done and Alan Meyerson Space is being done. Check it out. Get to it quickly. We're excited. It's amazing that it's August, but we got a bunch of stuff coming. Great guests are coming up. We are going to do the Pensado Awards in November. You're going to have a chance to attend that. It's going to be smoking. We're already in discussions with NAMM for January and all the things we're going to do there. Lots of stuff, and we're excited. One of the things that's real critical that Dave and I and the team have talked about, particularly in all this heat and climate change, is staying healthy, staying hydrated. You can't be creative when you're sick. And one of the things that we found that we think is really cool is this water called BLK. It's got great stuff in it, electrolytes. They have all kinds of different flavors, some not flavored. I think this is sparkling elderberry, and this one is Calabasas apple. And we're drinking a bunch of stuff. We're staying healthy. We're being in the gym. We want you to do that too. So BLK water, if you want to know about it, hit us up. We'll make sure that you can get to it. And without further ado, the Master Blaster, Dave Pensado, the CEO and founder of Sound Radix, Nir Avebuch. Gentlemen, take it away.
All right. So we created Auto Line to help people like me who had enough just allowing microphones by hand to get their mics in phase much faster and in a better way. So yeah, you may ask, well, didn't you get the mics in phase while recording? Well, you try, you do your best, but the simple physics is that it's not really possible to get your mics in phase because just the nature of sound, having different mics at different placements, pointing at the same source, different distances. Once you mix them together, you're gonna get comb filter effect and cancellations. So you can get a color with a placement, but you'll never get your transients aligned, and it'll never be as full as it can be.
Yeah. An example of that, guys, is okay. So you're working on a live drum track, and so the overheads are farther away from the mic that's on the snare, and so that gap produces a phase shift. And what we do is we try to fix it, but all we've got available to us, poor folks, is 0 or 180 off. But Sound Radix gives us the opportunity to get all the in-between stuff, and then you automatically it will put all of your other tracks in line with the overheads, and then it's heavenly. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. So an example of the way I use it, Nir, don't laugh now. This is the way I use it. I take a singer, and most singers are rushing when they're in on a microphone, and they're nervous and everything, and they're in a studio, and they tend to rush a little bit. And so I take Auto Line 2 and align the singer with the drums, and it sounds amazing. It really does, and it's so easy. It's so easy. And by the way, the plugin is extremely affordable. So raise the prices, man. No, not really. So is it triggered off of transients, or how is it triggered, and how the hell does it figure out what's what when it comes time to that? Okay.
Well, I won't tell you all our
Don't give away any secrets. Don't give away any secrets.
But it's a very complex algorithm. It doesn't just look on transients or anything. It's much more complicated than that. We're trying to look on all the inputs and making sure the correlation is tight, and of course the transients and everything, and a bunch of other secret sauce.
Okay.
I'm curious though, how did you align the vocal to the drums? It was the vocal in the room with the drums, so you had a little bleed of the vocal with.
Yeah. Well, no. Hold on a second. Let me consult. No, we don't do that. What we do is that we put the drums first, and then let everything go with the drums after that.
Because what Olan does, if the signals are not correlated, if it's not the same signal, your miles may vary, because basically Olan looks for correlation. It looks for and wants to improve correlation, right? So that's the main thing it looks for. And if the signals are not the same, because signals are they include all kinds of frequencies, it may find some kind of correlation, but it's not going to be exactly what you're looking for. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
there, so.
I've noticed that, but I think in my world, we usually get pretty close. I don't know why, but we really do. Pensado line 3 coming out.
Well, we're still working on an update. We've been got some requests from users with the non-automatic stuff. Actually, people wanted more control and more creativity. So we're working on that right now. Also adding some fun features and just So hopefully in a few months we'll have an update.
Spectral phase optimism. Explain that to me and how we're using it along with frequency-dependent phase shifts. So
one problem is the time of arrival, which is you have two different microphones, different distances, right? You mix them together, you get a comb filter effect. Another issue is if you had high-pass filters or use the Q going into recording while with other mics, and you don't have the same filters on the other tracks, you generally don't. So the EQs, the way they work, analog EQs and let's say non-linear phase EQs, when you use a high-pass filter or an EQ, specifically high-pass filter, some of the low end actually gets pushed later, gets delayed, gets shifted. But just that area around that high-pass filter and below. So when you combine two signals, one that was high pass and one that's not, that delay that was in the low end is going to cause cancellations again, because now you have your present aligned, but your low end is not aligned. So with the spectral phase correction, we can correct for that band shift, for that area that was delayed, and move it back in time with the other mics. So we also have the time and also the phase aligned. So you really get to hear the actual sound of your mics as you recorded them when you also sang there. When you sometimes you bring in some mics, you start losing some stuff, right? So with auto line, if everything is aligned, as you bring your faders up, everything should remain the same as far as tone and color of the other mics. It won't change.
Yeah, I noticed that. We experimented with using it on background vocals, and it seemed like it worked pretty good. Machine learning or algorithms? Is that which one is the plugin? Is auto line 2?
Yeah, we don't use AI on auto line 2.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot. We do all the research here now, so there's a lot of knowledge that we during the years of developing all the phase product. Autoline was the first one. We did Pi and Autoline Post, which also won the Emmy Award. So there's a lot. We've accumulated a lot of knowledge about all the different issues and all different cases. So our knowledge is in Autoline 2. That's what's in there. We may use machine learning for some elements in the software.
Oh, okay.
But the core algorithm is not AI.
the algorithm that you use for Pi, is that similar to the one for auto align?
So Pi is a whole different beast.
Okay.
We made Pi to help any track in a mix. It doesn't have to be the same source to kind of work together nicely in the mix, because you also get cancellations between different instruments. So for example, you have a bass in a low piano, or a bass in a kick, or you may have like overlapping instruments that sometimes that you layer, or if you have a live concert with a lot of bleed. So you have occasions where you have cancellations. Sometimes it could be at one point. I don't know if you ever experienced sometimes if you have like a really tight song, like where your bass and kick are really tight, but just in one place or another, suddenly you lose your low end. It just disappears. And the reason that happens is because at that moment, the bass and the kick or whatever's happening there, they're exactly at this place where they're canceling each other at the fundamental frequency. So what Pi does, it dynamically rotates the phase. It's the spectral shifting thing. It dynamically rotates the phase of the tracks to make sure that they won't cancel each other. So their interactions are generally positive.
Cool. So, how in the heck does the plugin recognize different sounds? That has to be some machine learning, because for those of you that don't have this plugin, it tells you what all the different things are and it names them, and then you can start messing with them, and you got these pretty little colors over here on the right to kind of figure out different things. And it's just a wonderful plugin, and a lot of people say it's simple. It's not simple. It's excessively amazing. If you spend 20 minutes with it, you got it. And you don't have to use every feature, but you can start like that, right?
Exactly, and that was our main goal for AutoAlign 2. The main question we got in AutoAlign 1 is, okay, so how do I go about alignment? What do I align to what? How do I chain the microphones together? Do I align the kick to the snare? Do I align the hi-hat to the, like, what do I do? So we wanted to help people and also make it faster. So in AutoAlign 2, you don't ask you that. You don't have to manually route to send and receive from one instance to another. You just put in all the tracks that you want to align, and we just click align, and it does its magic. And we still have also manual options. So if you want to have, for example, your room mics further away, you want to create this artificial delay, you can still push them further away and still have them in phase. So we have all these tools inside as well, but just from the get-go, you can just put it on your tracks. And by the way, you can even recognize, if you put them on drums and bass and guitars, it can recognize automatically what belongs to what, and just
chocolate cake. It even does that. So back to drums. I'd like to make sure that the audience knows how wonderful this is in terms of drums, because like we've all put together a drum and a snare, and solo they sound amazing, and then we unsolo them, and where did it go? Where did the top end go? Well, that's what you can try. That's what you can do here. It'll move it to where it needs to be, and you have no idea how often I use that. I use it a lot for that. You know what I'm saying? And the world of phase. I would say to some of the younger cats that are coming along. I didn't really start understanding phase really until probably 10 years into my career, maybe a little longer. But it's everything. It's everything. And to this day, I'll slide I'll take a plug-in, an EQ, and I'll slide the 350 until I hear the low end of the kick come out, and then I put it there. You know, I don't have to do that anymore. You know, with this plug-in, and it has a lot of uses. And if you've known a little bit about me, I like to use plugins for all the wrong things. I just love it. I love it. And this one gives you a lot of stuff to be wrong with. So I urge you to go take a look at it, take it for a test run, and then let me know how you liked it, because it's really, really, really good. So kudos to the team.
Awesome. Phase is hard because as opposed to an EQ or compressor or reverb or any other tool, you start, moving things around, you immediately hear, what's happening. But phase is a relation thing. It's by itself, you want so you have to hear several sounds together to really hear what it does. So yeah, it takes time, but once you have it.
Yeah. The other day I went out of phase. So I put the plug in a glass of water and drank it, and I came back good. So, well, listen, my dear friend, thank you so much for hanging out with us and sharing this. I think it's really something that everyone needs to have. It's very affordable, and guys, you know what they rely to you. So go check this out for me. I really do. I would appreciate it, because this is a good man. He's making good stuff, and let's support him. Okay. All right. Adios, amigos.